Gather round, it's story time. ComixDad's got the latest on the line. From panels to pixels, we'll explore the world of comics and so much more. Welcome to Talkin' Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got. From ink to screen and all in between. With ComixDad and friends, it's the scene. We'll dive into pop culture, what's hot, what's not. Entertainment, buzz, the latest plot. Content creation, how we make it pop. Sit back, relax, let's talk shop. Welcome to Talkin' Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got. From ink to screen and all in between. With ComixDad and friends, it's the scene. Whether it's manga, movies, or memes, we've got the insights, the laughs, and the schemes. So join the chat, let's elevate the conversation, don't hesitate. From classics to new, from indie to mainstream, we'll cover it all like a superhero's dream. Maybe we'll stray talk of other things, but comic love is what gives us wings. Welcome to Talkin' Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got. From ink to screen and all in between. With ComixDad and friends, it's the scene.
Hey everybody, ComixDad here with another episode of Talkin' Shop. First and foremost, thank you so much everybody for being here. We have a wonderful guest with us tonight. But before we introduce our guest, what am I talking about with these weird pronouns? Before I introduce my guest. That's right, because I'm not a pronoun warrior. Let's just pop into the chat, say hello to everybody who is here so far. Because without you guys, there is no show, there is no channel. So first and foremost, the legend, Tomby. Let's go, says Tomby. Hail, Tomby. John Ambler says, hail, Comics Crew. Gonna be lurking for a bit and get some dinner. Hail, John Ambler. Linnea's here. Hey, Linnea. Hi there. I'm off to bed. I was going to say, it is a bit late for you. But just wanted to say hi, and then I'm done with my episode, and it's up. Oh, fantastic. Yes. So Linnea, if everybody knows Linnea from various chats, Geeks and Gamers, Welcome to the Rebellion, a few others, she actually has her own YouTube channel, Queen Comics Wife, actually. If you can grab that and throw that in the chat, that'd be amazing. But she has her own channel, and she does basically mini episodes breaking down the Bible and doing like kind of mini Bible studies on her channel. So if that is something that you feel like you are missing and need in your life or would enjoy, I know Queen Comics Wife and I, we checked it out last night because Linnea told me about it the other day. But we think it's fantastic. But if you think you need that, go ahead and check out Linnea on YouTube. Queen Comics Wife just dropped the link in the chat now. So, and then, oh, look at that. Some jerk saying, hey, go get Rumble. Say, hey, go check out Linktree. Forget that guy. Error of Fate's here. Says, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come or not, but if I can, I will be late. Error of Fate, you wouldn't be you if you weren't late. You're all good. And then Queen Comics Wife is in the chat, says, hey, everybody, Queen Comics Wife, lovely Queen Comics Wife. Queen Comics Wife, drop your link tree in the chat, too. Everybody go check out Queen Comics Wife on YouTube and on Rumble. Shelf Frogs is here, says, hail, ComixDad and Queen. We'll be listening as I drive to Alabama. Well, be safe, Shelf Frogs. And I'm assuming you're going away for the weekend. So have yourself a great weekend, Shelf Frogs. Brimstone's here, says, hail, Comics. And then after the stream, I have a couple links for you. Yeah, man, you know what to do. Shoot them on over to me in Discord like you do. I appreciate it, brother. And then thank you to everybody who is lurking. The 11 people over on Rumble who are currently watching. Thank you so much. And everybody, please, please, please be sure to hit the like button, regardless of what platform you're on. Follow the channel on Rumble. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Hit the share button. Turn on notifications. Hit the repost on Rumble. All the good things. On Rumble, we're doing fantastic. Awesome growth. We hit 250 the other day. YouTube, we're above 325. But YouTube is not as good as Rumble, so YouTube, we gotta, make that push for monetization. But if it happens, it happens. If not, oh well. But if we can make it to 500, that would be fantastic. So please go ahead and share the channel if you like what we're doing here. But thank you guys so much for that. Now, without further ado, tonight's guest is a very special individual, special emphasized. Uh, he is one of the founding members of the YouTube channel, the GCA, my favorite group of degenerates on YouTube. um, he also is doing his own stuff on his own channel. He likes playing games. He likes talking about streaming and content creation and different streaming services. And also, he's just a really decent overall guy. And he's also a panelist on the Monday Hangover over on Drug 3PO's channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mo Zamboni.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Mo, what's going on, brother?
Hey. Oh, I can't be mad at anything with if you're going to end a introduction video with Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Well, that's why I do it, because everybody loves Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So no matter how I introduce them, they'll forget about it and then be mad at me after the stream is over. So, but Mo, thank you so much, brother, for joining me. I appreciate it. First and foremost, I guess for anybody who's not familiar with who you are, you want to just give a quick introduction for yourself. I know I kind of hit the nail on the head, but if there's anything I may have missed real quick, and we'll talk more about GCA and the other stuff you got going on later. But if you just want to give a quick like 15-second elevator speech to the people who are watching that are unfamiliar with your fantastic work, go ahead.
I am Mo Zamboni, a professional graphic designer in the real world and a streamer on the GCA. I'm one of the founding members. I actually own the Discord, GCA Discord, which is at some point more important than the channel because the Discord is goated. I also am on the Monday Hangover. I cut up the videos. I do all the editing over there. I also am a panelist and sometimes host when Jay is gone. So other than that, yeah, you can find me on Midnight's Edge After Dark every so often. So I tend to get around quite a bit, but it's been really fun. Just it stemmed from a midlife crisis, and here I am. No Corvette convertible, but just streaming. I guess it's a lot cheaper.
It depends on who you ask.
True.
especially if you're streaming just on YouTube. It depends on who you ask. But hey, risk it for biscuits in the chat with the avocados. And I will actually star that comment because I do have some questions about some GCA lore, and the avocados may or may not, the Movocado may or may not be one of them.
Oh, it is. Well, yes, it made its way there. It just it slithered its way in, but yes.
But Mo, like we were talking earlier, if I weren't called ComixDad, or if because I'm called ComixDad, we have to at least start the show a little bit, but talking about some comic books. So Mo, what and I know you shared with me that you're not necessarily the biggest in comics, and that's totally fine, man. But you do have a couple of things that you're very eager to read, and you have some interest in some of the some comic book related things. So why don't you just I'm curious, man, what kind of got you initially into comics, or at least what was maybe your first experience with comics that you remember that kind of had it sink its teeth into you, because especially since you weren't so big on it early on, as you shared with me.
Well, the first comic I remember where I'm like, whoa, was The Punisher. And that was early 90s Punisher, because I was like 11, something like that.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But I just remember I can't remember the artist. It's not the crap one where the heads are teensy and the muscles are huge. It's the one that was actually good from the 90s. But I was really into that. But what really, and I really need to read these comics. I really do. But I love comic book lore, and I love comic accurate representations of lore. Spawn, the cartoon from HBO in the mid 90s, was the GOAT with Keith David. So I love ultra violent, like where it's like, yeah, I'm a hero, but it's the anti-hero, but done properly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And tell me, dude, Dread? Are you kidding me? Dread. I've watched the movie Dread. I had 3D TV for the express reason of watching the 3D version of Dread.
Really?
Oh yeah, and I was so pissed when it went out.
The days of 3D television, how short-lived that was.
It'll be back, but you just have to have it where you can't wear glasses. It's
Yeah.
people are lazy, so if you as long as they don't have to do anything except for sit in front of it,
Yeah.
It'll work.
I mean,
you know?
if we get like the hollow disc projection technology from like a peak Yu-Gi-Oh, that probably would be how we would experience 3D TV.
Yeah, but VR you can do it. So I have
That's true.
3D. I have 3D movies that you can actually translate, and you can. I mean, you have to, especially with a giant head like me, you have to like really temper it. I watched Man of Steel in 3D, and I sat for 2 hours with a Quest on my head. I'm a size 8 people. Size 8. I cannot buy hats off the rack at any store. I have to special. But that's just how it is. So like.
I'm right there with you.
Oh yeah. So, anyways, this is my 199 hat. That's how many pips are. It's 2, and that's pretty tight. So
Tight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got I got Vindicta right now. I'm on
Nice.
2, and it's snug. It's like the
Yeah.
perfect size. Tomby, yeah, Tomby, I know, dude. I know. You're GOAT, you're legend. Interviewing Pat Mills was amazing. Yeah. Stop bragging.
But yeah, I love ultraviolent kind of like not so much dystopian because
Mhm.
Spawn and Punisher they're dystopian in their own reality. They've been dealt the worst card ever.
Oh,
but
for sure.
but like Dread, I unironically love the original one from '95. Mainly because of Armand Desante, because he just eats the scenery, he just chews the scenery up. I love it. But I love those comic book characters, and I'm trying to come back around to catch up on what I missed. So
Okay.
that's one thing I definitely want to do is I love those just kind of like just raw. You're talking to somebody that's probably seen when he was in his teens and his 20s, watched all of the trauma movies like ever that were out there, like just the most offensive things ever. And I like that kind of vibe where it's just like, because like with Superman, he's not going to crush somebody's head.
Yeah.
I know but with these other characters, they've been pushed to a limit. They're just like, or they're in an environment you just don't know where they're going to go, and
Oh,
that
for sure.
I just love the creative part of that.
Well, and that's part of the reason why I love Image Comics, because Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, is at Marvel. I don't think we really have any. I don't think we've really gotten any other iconic, gritty, street level characters quite like Frank Castle. Since I know there's been others, but like Frank Castle was kind of the standard bearer, or is the standard bearer, I guess, for that gritty kind of pushing the edge. Kind of hero, anti-hero. But Image Comics, though, is Spawn over at Image Comics, Todd McFarlane, Rob. Why the hell am I forgetting his name? Creator of Deadpool. Rob Liefeld. There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brain, for working. But yeah, and then even still, all the stuff over at Image, there's a lot of good stuff that has come through Image over the years that kind of fits that mold. So if you're definitely looking for some more like gritty, either street level or at least like maybe morally gray, riding the line of going to the dark side type of stuff, there's good stuff over at Image to check out. And then also there's actually a series that is coming back for a volume 2 later this year. It's not necessarily dystopian, but it takes place on a sci-fi planet, and the people that basically were hired by a corporation that kind of created this fake Earth number 2 or whatever, they were left behind, and now there's a battle bit going on between some unknown entity that is killing these people and taking their technology for like controlling the animals and fighting against the few people or the people that are remaining on the planet. And it's pretty gritty, which is really cool. It's called Rook Exodus. So if you want to check that out, it's only 6 issues was the first volume. So it's actually you can actually pick it up in a nice handy just trade paperback. And volume 2, they're doing issue number 1 later this year, I think like around October. So
Nice.
But yeah, man. So that's that was a very, very, very awesome introduction to comics. Mostly, it's usually like, oh yeah, I got into Superman as a kid, or for me, it was Spider-Man, or like kind of the mostly typical answers, or like, oh, this run or this event of Justice League really got me hooked, or something like that. I haven't had anybody yet that kind of went down the dark and gritty road. So I love that that was your answer.
Oh yeah. No, I just love that because when you're in the world of creativity like I am, it's been most of my career. I've had a lot of odd jobs. Like you do, and you should. You should kind of get acclimated and get a skill set just in case.
Hmm.
No, your parents tell you that you should get a real job. You should do this. It's like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. But they're right. You know, I've worked in a lot of different jobs, but I've mostly worked in graphic design. And when you're creative, especially financial graphic design, it's so cut and dry and drab. So you want something just on the opposite end of it. Like you want, that's that's why I think I got so attracted to it because it was just like, especially in my adult years, it's just like it's like you don't want to deal with the same thing you deal with every day. It's like I want to watch Superman. And I have nothing against him. I love Superman. I love the Incredible Hulk.
No, of course, of
I
course.
want something where it just keeps me guessing creatively because that also is like steel sharpening steel.
Yeah,
Can,
especially as you get old, especially as we all got older. I feel like everybody at one point or another probably was like, okay, good versus bad. I get it. Give me something different, at least for a little bit.
but not in the kind of like, oh, it's Superman went bad. No, it's like you need to be in a world where it just that like it will keep you guessing just by the nature of it or
Yeah.
the character and what they have to deal with and their internal struggles or the external struggles as it is with Dread. Dread doesn't have any internal
So,
struggles.
something, yeah, right, yeah. So something a bit more grounded, like where maybe people aren't literally flying and just literally like a goody two shoes paladin esque type of hero
Yeah.
versus the basically Antichrist.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's just something that your brain craves. Like whatever you do all the time, you just generally want something different. That's how we are as people.
No.
And that's why I'm into those kind of comics because I need something to kind of I want to escape. I don't want to be in the same world I am all the time.
Yes, for sure. And
Yeah.
that's why I have loved the push into indie comics over the last few years. At least for the last few years that I've been paying attention to it. It's been going on longer than that. But yeah, because indie comics, not all, but a lot of indie comics out there is kind of the same thing. They're like the big two, Marvel and DC, are just kind of everybody's sick of sick of what's been going on in it, and they want something better. They want actual creatives working on creative stories, and indie is the way to go. Pretty much, indie comics has to be the future, but in order to do so, people need to become more aware of indie comics, and that's hopefully something I could do here on the channel.
By the
But
way, Detective Comics and Marvel were indies at some point themselves. So
fact,
yeah, even if they were the only one in town, they were the ones starting out. So
absolutely fact. But Mo, I also did ask you if there was anything that's in your limited collection that you held near and dear to you. What do you got with you, man?
oh, well, near and dear because Jay Drunk 3PO has told me to get these. I have the omnibus for Transformers volumes 1 and 2. I think 3 just came out, but obviously I got to get on these.
Yep.
I am very much looking forward to these because it does G1 justice from what I hear.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're talking to somebody that, well, I mean, look at my t-shirt. It's a well, technically it's a GoBot fighting a Care Bear, but you know, we were broke growing up. I had one Transformer. It was Optimus Prime. It was the one, but most of my toys were GoBots and stuff like that. So
I have I feel like that was probably a lot of people, and just most people don't want to own up to it.
that's why there's nothing wrong with GoBots.
No.
But as far as the toys, they were baller because they were the same size as GI Joes, so you could have some awesome fights. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's nothing to be ashamed of. But I feel like back then probably some people were probably a little hesitant to be like, oh yeah, I like GoBots because like everybody else on the block's got Transformers and here I am stuck with GoBots. Like, yeah, dude, don't worry about it. Own it. The GoBots, like you said, were friggin' awesome, and they were bigger.
Yeah, well, no, they were actually. I'm talking about like the ones I had were the same size as the little GI Joes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not that I mind that my Optimus Prime is huge, but that was the only one I had.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen a GoBot, so Well, granted, also GoBots was so because you kind of aged yourself there. So I am 33, so I know of the 80s toys and nostalgia. I know
Uh,
of the 80s toys. I had a few of the 80s toys at my grandmother's house from my one of my uncles
Mhm.
who got into, because there was a GoBot there. I last saw that thing when I was maybe 8 years old, and then eventually it ended up, I guess my grandmother ended up just doing a purge of the house or something. But
like to. Yeah.
yeah, um, but yeah, man. So you've got that Transformers compendium though you were telling me about. Have you actually or did you, or is that what you meant when you were talking about the compendium? Did you mean the trade paperbacks?
Oh, this is the these are the omnibuses that you can get off of I got them off Amazon because it was like a really good deal. Like they're on
Gotcha.
Amazon. So it's like it's all of the volume one, the first the
Oh yeah.
first run, second run.
All right.
And
I'm gonna give you a little industry vocab, my friend.
ah, I'm
so
okay with
so no, you're good. So yes, you can call it an omnibus. Traditionally omnibuses are like this friggin' thick. So instead, I guess to make it more cost effective for people. Hey, Queen Comics wife, I see you lurking behind me. To make it a little more to make it more cost effective, they decided at some point, I guess comic book publishers decided to put 6 issues into a book together, and instead of
Mhm.
calling it an omnibus, they just called it a volume and as a trade paperback. So trade paperback volume 1 and 2 is what you have in your hands there, sir.
Oh, right on.
But yes, so let me, I gotta, because and yes, I absolutely love Transformers out of Image, and Daniel Warren Johnson's job. So Quick Comics Life, just to let you know, I turned the background off so they could say hi.
Well, I didn't want to be on camera. Okay.
Oh, I know you don't want to be on camera, but I'm doing it because I have
a
stuff.
hot mess.
Okay, well then
My
whatever.
hair is
I'm always a
I
hot
look like
mess.
A hot mess.
I'm always a hot
I'm in a
mess.
tank top. Sorry.
Well, I didn't turn off the background for you to
Hey,
say hi. I was just
Mo.
letting you know.
Hi.
I made you a hot tea.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's right. So our friend Tomby from across the pond, he
So
he did us a favor, and he teabagged us today through Amazon. He and for those of you who are confused by that, Tomby is from the UK and loves tea. When he was here in the States last month, he was kind enough to stop by our house, and he and his wife Tam, lovely people, loved hanging out with them for the bit that they were here, and he brought us a box of tea. Queen Comics wife had it. She told him how much she loved it, and so he provided us through Amazon not 1, not 2, but like 6 boxes of this freaking
Nice.
tea bags. So that is why I have tea in front of me now.
Well, I've told him how much is it for a box of tea, and I'll buy a box. That way, I can get another box. We're almost low on this first box.
Nah, that's not
He's
Tomby.
like, I got you. I was like, okay, 6 boxes of tea.
That's not Tomby. Tommy's a legend like that. But yeah, man.
Well,
So
I made your tea. So
thank you, baby. But you brought yours. I'll show you mine, and I coincidentally happened to bring my own with me. Oh,
Oh, nice.
this is a trade paperback. I don't have issue number 1. I wish I did, because I think graded at a 9.8, it's going for over $100 right now. And
Awesome.
I was late to the game on Transformers. But my couple of things that I've got. Well, since we talk Transformers, here is Transformers from the original Marvel run. It's
Nice.
number 3 with Black Suit Spider-Man fighting Megatron. And I absolutely just love that cover, love the story inside. But what I really wanted to bring with me today was, this isn't the first printing. This is what's called a facsimile edition. And are you aware of what a facsimile edition is?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
My expertise lies within retro video games and computers and stuff. So you have repros, as we call them, where it looks almost exactly the same. Functionally, you'll get the same enjoyment out of it, but it's not the original. Same thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Perfect. So I have facsimile of 1995's Marvel's Gargoyles number 1, except up here in the corner, instead of Marvel, it says Dynamite Entertainment, because publisher known as Dynamite Entertainment bought the rights to it. They're actually doing a lot of Disney type of. They're doing like untold Disney stories and a bunch of like new Disney stories that we haven't gotten from like the movies and stuff like that. Some of them are okay. Most of them are kind of crap. But the reason why I decided to choose Gargoyles was because Gargoyles was one of my favorite cartoons growing up as a kid. And what is your experience with Gargoyles?
I missed it, man. I was 15
Did
when
you?
it came out. I was too cool for cartoons at that point, except for Spawn on HBO. I had moved on to that, but the last one I had seen was Darkwing Duck.
Yes.
Disney, but I have seen all of those: Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, Chip. What one of the things I could draw proficiently was Chip from Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers.
Can you?
Yeah, well, I used to, dude. It's been
Oh,
like
okay.
30 years. Yeah, but at like 12, I could make a really good version of it. And I I had the hots for Gadget. I thought she was I ended up marrying essentially a Gadget, like a nerd, like a hot female nerd. So
All right. So what you're
uh
telling me right now here, possibly ComixDad exclusive, the GCA has been infiltrated by a secret furry, is what you're telling
oh
me.
yeah, well, no, yeah, well, we have Tobias, yes. Tobias
Well,
is
no. That's not. He's not a secret.
no, 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 no. I realized at 11 that's not the way to go. Yeah, no, but when you're 11, you're like, oh, she's pretty cool, but
Fair enough. Fair
but
enough.
yeah. So, but
I-
yeah, no, I was into that. Like, but gargoyles, I understand, and I've seen a little bit of it to understand like how good it was, and it was of a bit darker tone.
Mhm.
Definitely kind of lent itself, even though it was Disney, kind of touched the precipice of Batman the animated series. Like they
Yes.
were, which is okay. It looks like they did their own thing. Nobody would connect those two, but it has that same kind of tone. It just wasn't. I was like a freshman in high school. Like, it just obviously I would not have been watching that. You at
Fair.
your age, absolutely, you would have been watching that 100%. Yeah.
I was also that kid that was still not watching like the kiddie cartoons, but I was watching like Yu-Gi-Oh in high school still and stuff. So like I was one of those. I wasn't necessarily the weird kid, because there was a kid that I went to high school. Okay, so there was a kid I went to high school with. He full blown Naruto cosplay, basically like at least twice a week at school. Naruto ninja running through the hallways from class to class.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
Well,
not so. I was not that level, so I was deemed somewhat normal. But like I was watching, I was dabbling my toes in the anime at the time, except for like Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, the stuff that was brought over and westernized back in like the late mid to late 90s into bleeding into the early 2000s. But like Gargoyles, the stuff I would still watch, like the stuff that I liked as a younger
mhm.
kid, that was still on in syndication, like Gargoyles and Darkwing Duck and stuff like that. I watched it on the weekend, and I had a younger brother too, so I had an excuse. But it was my excuse was my younger brother likes it. But the reason, and Darkwing Duck, since you mentioned Darkwing Duck was phenomenal. Best Disney superhero before they acquired Marvel of all time. But Dynamite Entertainment, that actually owns and is currently doing their own Gargoyle stuff, they have a Darkwing Duck series out as well through Dynamite Entertainment. So if you like Darkwing Duck, go check it out. But
And
yeah,
real quick, before people forget, there's a very dark story arc that started off Darkwing Duck. Like, he would tell Gosling a lullaby, and it was basically a code to get into his laboratory, but he had passed away because he had been like infiltrated or something like that. Like, it was like really like dark for a Disney cartoon, especially at that point. Like, they would kind of get a little dark and in like DuckTales, and but they would never get so dark. But like
yeah,
Darkwing Duck, they're like, no, screw it, we're going for it. So
oh yeah,
it was good because it had multiple layers. Like, it was a legitimately good cartoon, great cartoon, one of the
oh it
best, and
was.
super underrated, especially from people from my generation. They just, yeah, they loved it, but they didn't understand how good it was.
And
Like, it was really good.
on top of that, that theme just slapped, as the kids say.
Let's get dangerous. Yeah.
Let's get dangerous, Darkwing Duck.
First of all, Chippendale's Rescue Rangers had the best one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, yeah, a lot of those, like '90s Disney shows had phenomenal themes. Like, have you ever seen the video of a bunch of churchgoers that are dancing to whatever they're playing at church, but somebody put the Ducktales theme over it? It works phenomenally. It's awesome, and like, there's a couple guys throwing their arms down, head back, like just bouncing back and forth, and it just works with the theme of Ducktales. I gotta find it. I'll send it to you after the stream. Um, but no, it's and I'm glad that you mentioned Gargoyles, and that you mentioned Spawn the animated series as well, because we're going to touch on those in a little bit. But thank you so much, Mo, for talking comics with me. It has
Mhm.
been awesome. And that's the end of the show, everybody. No. But what I want
Yay! All right,
to, but what I want to do is I want to now talk about you and your shop. Hence the name of the show, Talkin' Shop. We're not just talking comic shop. We're talking shops of my guests that come on as well. Yours being
Mhm.
content creation and also graphic design, which I did not know. So
Oh, yeah.
right before we get into that, there are a couple of chats, people in the chat. Sticky Goose is here. So what's going on, Sticky Goose? Good to see you. He goes, "Is that guy drinking urine out of a mason jar?"
Bruh, if my urine's looking like this, I'm going right to the hospital.
For real.
It's Mountain Dew. I have been dragging ass today. I am so tired. So I wanted to at least get a little artificial energy.
There you go.
So
I get it, man. Especially because you guys are going away to this weekend, I think, right?
yeah, going on vacation for the first time in a long time, and don't think it's streaming. Like I mean, that's the thing. Like when people like when you say I'm going on vacation, like no, I have a full time job. And I'm a dad, which is also and when I don't want to call it a job because it's the best thing ever. Like
Oh, for
seriously,
sure.
like I don't ever want to call it a job.
But
But
it's
you got three different things going on. You get worn out after over a year of doing it, and I'm just ready to. I need to kind of get a refresh, and I haven't seen some of my friends from where I used to live in a while, and or family, and it's just like okay, got to disconnect from the rest of reality for a while and just kind of enjoy the people that are in your life. So that's basically what I'm doing next week.
for sure, man. That's awesome. Enjoy it, brother. You definitely deserve it. But Sticky Goose also said, "Am I the only person here that isn't a moderator?" More or less, man. There's although 326 subs on the channel, I've got I think like 6 or 7 mods, and like half of them appear to be here tonight, which I love my mods. Hashtag mod lives matter. So sorry that you're not one, but tell your friends about the channel, have them come on in and join the chat, and then there'll be more gray names than blue names. Eventually, hopefully, green names. But we got to hit that 500 mark first. But anyway, Levistro is here. What's going on, Levistro? Good to see you, brother. This is like the stream. Go check out Levistro on YouTube and on Rumble as well. Levistro's a good dude. He does some gaming stuff. He is a-okay.
Oh, he's
Jose,
a pisser. Sorry, I did Common Nerds anniversary stream or something like that with him, and
oh yeah,
he was going off. What before his internet was literally going off, but he was really fun. Levistro's really cool. I like him a lot. So
Jose Taco is here. Says hail, Jose Taco. What's up, brother? And then Isaac is here with a thumbs up. Isaac, hey man, I was over on Isaac's channel on Monday. It was a good time. Isaac, we gotta do that again, brother. We gotta do it again, especially I can't remember who. I know. Why I'm a jerk. I forget names as quick as I learn them.
oh, dude, I'm the worst.
But one of Isaac's buddies that was on the stream, he had a banner behind him that said LGBT, but it was liberty, guns, beer, and then Trump.
Was it Atomic Patriot? I feel like that was
No, it wasn't Atomic Patriot. I gotta go back and
Pops.
watch it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Isaac. I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm sure.
Corn Boy and Magnum. It was Magnum. That's who it was. Magnum had that sitting behind him. But yeah, so let's talk about you, man. So obviously you're one of the founding members of the GCA. I had Nagranol on a few weeks back. He kind of went into a little bit of the TLDR of kind of how it came to be. But there's definitely some lore that is locked behind the Mo Zamboni paywall, is what I was told, so to speak. So now that you're here, there's a little bit of lore behind the name of the GCA that has been like, I guess if you've been watching the whole time you would know, but
Good luck.
yeah, but I was not fortunate enough to pick up on you guys. I wasn't even really watching anything on YouTube a year ago at this point, so I, like probably many others out there, are curious, Mo. Before we get into kind of where the GCA came from your perspective, I would like to know what the GCA stands for, like the literal letters GCA.
I'm glad you want to know that.
Like I said, Mo Zamboni paywall, and not just because you're here doesn't mean you're going to get that answer.
Oh no, it is if you guess and you get it right, we'll let you know that it's not it. But albeit that is the spirit of the GCA. But,
fair enough.
Yeah. So nope. It was just we were trying to figure out a name, and you crabbers. Hey.
Fair enough.
Yes, we are the John Travolta fan club. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh, no, wrong one. White Devil who
Oh,
talks on
yes.
Rumble.
Sorry.
What's
Okay,
up,
I
White
say.
Devil? How are you,
So,
man?
so that was Chrissy Mayer's guess. Gay
That's a good
Comics
one.
Association. Yeah. So
That's
it's part of the fun, but we're never going to let it out of the bag. Some people have said it. If you go on
oh,
certain
okay.
streams, you might catch it, but I'm never willingly like it would have. I would have to be strapped to a chair.
It's got to be slip of
Yeah,
the tongue.
it would have to be Tony Stark in Iron Man 1 at the
or I'd
beginning.
have,
Yeah.
or I'd have to just lock you in a room and play Ironheart on repeat, probably.
Well, I saw Acolyte of my own accord, so you'd
Fair
have to
enough.
probably do a little. You probably have to do a lot worse than that. So
Fair enough. But okay. So from your perspective, then, because Nagrinol kind of went into, you guys all got together at like a GG meetup and we're
Mhm.
talking everything, but kind of how did that all come together, though? I'm really curious. At least from your perspective, how did the GCA come to be?
Well, so what's the best way to put this? Because it's a little more complex than you might think. I don't want to but it's not as complex as I'm going to make it.
Mhm.
But I don't want to spin yarns or anything like that. But
Oh, for
basically,
sure.
we all met up, and we didn't. None of us knew each other. We knew the handles from the chat and everything.
Okay.
So it was MegaCon 2024, which seems like forever ago, but it's not. So so we all hung out. I met Yo Pops and Hoodie first. I think and Magda was with them, I think, but I'd already had a few drinks and I was really tired. My son had a 102-degree fever all week and he had the flu.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I was taking care of him and I coached basketball that night. And I left and I stayed in southern Georgia, like right over the border. There's like a stop that's like 5 miles from Florida.
Okay.
So I basically coached a basketball game of third through fifth graders, which that's fun. Teaching them is one thing. Trying to get them to do what you want them to on a basketball court, which they did a great job. I miss it a lot. I haven't done it in a while, but anyways,
Trying to get them to do anything, not just on
so I took
basketball
care of a
court, but
sick
at home
child.
too.
Sick child waking up in the middle of the night. This is how awesome my wife is. So we go through all this, and I'm like, hey, I got tickets, and I found a room, the near Universal Studios on Airbnb for like $40 or something. It was a pretty good deal. It was a great place. I just wanted to stay there for a night. He's like, hey, do you mind if I go? So that's my story. Is like I almost didn't make it. There was no reason I should have made it, but my wife was awesome enough to, take care of the child, and she's a nurse. So it's like,
Yeah.
there's no reason that she should have said yes, but she's like, yeah, go ahead. So
shout out to Mrs. Zamboni for that.
Mrs. Mo, yes.
Mrs. Mo and all the wives out there.
Yes, absolutely. So I went down there and I went to the meetup at the Red Coconut Club. I think is what it's called. The Coconut Club.
Sure,
Coconut
it wasn't
Club,
the Blue
yeah.
Oyster Club.
No.
Hey, Basket City.
Hey. So yeah, no, so that was my story about getting there. It was almost impossible for me to get there, but I was lucky enough to get there. So we get down there, and for after I meet Yo Pops and Hoodie and all them, we don't really talk that much. It was kind of fun hanging out with them and stuff like that. But ABF was at the bar, and he's just kind of nonchalant, and he's just like, da da da, and he's right by where you order the drinks. He's just chilling, and I'm like, hey, blah blah blah. Like, what's your name in chat? He goes, Alec Baldwin's finger, and I'm like, what? So I ended up talking with him for most of the night, and we were having a blast. And I remember I introduced him to Quarter Black Garrett. Quarter Black Garrett is like, I'm like, I got to introduce you to somebody. He's the QBG who has had a few. He's like, and ABF he's like, tell him your name. He's like, Alec Baldwin's finger, and QBG goes, and he goes, nice to meet you. And he was really cool. And QBG's always cool at the meetups. He's the nicest guy. Like, seriously.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to get to one of these days. It just hasn't. I'm fairly new to the community, just in the last
and that
was
the
end of last year, so I missed my chance. But hopefully next year I'll be able to get to one.
So at that point, I was 3 years in. I had been listening for a while. Ironically, I had kind of come in the opposite way of most people. I was an Eric D. July fan on his political takes during the Summer of Love. For whatever reason, I gravitated towards Black conservatives because it was more of a tone and a point of view that I was used to. mainly
Okay.
because my dad grew up poor in West Virginia. So it's like it was just something that I resonated with. And I would listen to ABL and Officer Tatum. I'm like, okay, but I was always a libertarian. So then Young Ripa comes up and I'm like, all right. So then I hear he's going to be on this thing called Friday Night Tights, and QBG goes, talks about Leslie Headland, too ugly to be assaulted. I'm like, I have literally not missed an episode since that episode. I'm like,
That's awesome.
I laughed my ass off at that.
Holy
So,
crap.
yeah, it was hilarious. So anyway, so I'd listened to it for a while. I actually got well, I'm covering a lot of ground here, but I got canceled in 2021. It wasn't fun.
Shit.
But that was the great thing about FNT and Eric July is they're like, hey, we know what you're dealing with. Like, just fucking laugh it off and let's get to it. So, anyways, not to get too deep into that, but yeah. So, anyways, we all met up and we had fun. We all hung out in varying places. A lot of them hung out later because I was so tired from taking care of my son that week, and I had more than a few Moscow mules, so I ended up crashing. And it was a fun night. I was okay with it. People thought I was a critical drinker all the time because I kept wearing my sunglasses.
Dude,
I'm dead serious.
I can
I'm
see
dead serious. Yeah, and I actually ended up talking to Critical Drinker. He called me his doppelganger. Yeah, so but it was it was really fun. But at the actual at MegaCon where they had the room where they would like have the panel and stuff like that, people are like, I'd walk in the line to ask them questions at the meetup. I didn't get a chance to, but I was at the end of the line, and they're like, "I thought you were the critical drinker," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm getting that a lot." Which is funny, just because I was wearing sunglasses. But anyways, so after that, we kept in touch somehow. And there was another guy, I don't want to bring him up too much, but that we started streaming with, and it didn't work out after about a month. But we, the rest of us really enjoyed hanging around each other. So we started to, we basically said, okay, let's do this show by ourselves. So we started off, we did episode 0, which is, I recommend anybody, if you're doing a panel show, do a show that you don't care if you sound like crap, just get it out of your system. People knew that it was going to be bad. So we did that. And we started doing GCA, and we just found out that we got along really well together, and and the rest is history. It was just basically we all met up during a meetup. Some of us got the itch to stream, and then once we actually the core base of us got together and started streaming together, we're like, hey, we kind of got something here, because we started getting like 20 to 30 people right off the bat.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and which is not, and I'm not trying to dunk anybody. It's hard to get numbers up. I'm trying to stream my own channel, and I got I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying like don't give me, and this is what I tell to everybody. It's like, okay, so ComixDad is streaming to anywhere between like 20 to 30 people here right now. I'm boring people to death, so they're leaving.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah,
you're
no,
good.
so
and it's 15. Yeah, I appreciate you highballing it.
it was up to 20 to 30 here.
It was.
But you basically visualize those people being in your living room or being in your garage or wherever you're streaming. That's a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
If people are going to give you that time to listen to you and enjoy your show, that's amazing. I don't care if it's 5 people. That's amazing to me. So we just took it that way, and things happened, and we got a few pushes from G&G. Thank you, Jeremy and Ryan and all those people. Yeah.
Yes, risk it. Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
I've seen you, and I would say, like, no, you're an actual good person, but I met you, and I've seen you talk in the comments this stream. So obviously that's not the case. So anyways, but yeah, no, basically we all met up, and then we got the itch to stream, and before you know it, we're all kind of doing our own thing, and things just got nuts for me within the first year. Towards the end of the first year, I don't know if we need to get into that, but it was just like, it just
whatever you want to share, man. This is, like I said, this show is about you, the guest. So whatever you want to share, whatever you don't want to share, that's cool with me, brother.
Yeah. So it was just fun. I enjoyed doing it, and I enjoy doing the graphic design stuff. So I kind of enjoy doing that a little more, if that makes any sense. But as far as that goes, I've been at that for almost 20 years.
Okay. So
Basically,
you're
Mhm.
saying is I found my new graphic design guy so long as you work for cupcakes and homemade Queen Comics wife bread and food.
it's funny you say that. I have worked for food, and there's been some damn good payments. It
Well, brother,
happens.
you come on up to PA to get your payment once a month. You'll go home probably about 10 pounds heavier.
Oh, you're not wrong. So I went. What was it? So my coworker's computer at my real job, her MacBook, the SSD failed. Which after 12 years, that's kind of what they do,
Yeah.
especially graphic design because you're reading and writing all the time.
Oh yeah.
So I just said, okay, pay me for the parts, and for labor, you can give me sweet Lebanon bologna, which is the bomb. You can only get you can only get the regular
Okay.
and stuff like that. So yeah, so I made it. So she paid me with like 2 pounds of that, and I'm still eating it. That was like last year. I keep it in my freezer, so
Well,
it's
there you
okay.
go.
No, sometimes for people that you really like and that you really admire and stuff like that, it's fun to do payments like that. We kind of do that kind of stuff.
Okay,
And
so you're saying I got to dish out the cold hard cash. Gotcha.
yeah. No, I despise you. No,
Well, dude, after my SWAT Cats take, I'm pretty sure you and I are arch rivals now at this point.
well, you're wearing a Thundercat shirt, so you have redeemed yourself.
Well,
So
it's also because I don't have a SWAT Cat shirt. If I had one, I'd be wearing it.
that's 'cause it sucks. But anyways,
Functional idiot moron running a channel on his own. Yeah, it makes sense. I like stuff that sucks. I'm a Flyers fan. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. So
are you a Cleveland Browns fan?
I am well. We'll see how much longer that lasts. But
Nope. That makes us great husbands because we're the most loyal people on the face of the earth. You
well,
can't stop. You can't stop.
I got it completely. We're going completely off track, but that's cool. It's fine. I love telling this
Yeah,
story.
go ahead.
I ended up becoming a Cleveland Browns fan, more or less, kind of on a dare out of spite. That's how it all began. I was pretty much hockey only for the longest time. Then what was the year Baker was drafted? 17 or 18? I can't even remember. I think it was 17.
Was it 17? I guess it was. It's
Yeah,
hard
I
to
think
tell
it
because
was.
2020 kind of messed up everybody's.
Yep. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I want to say it was 7. Yeah, I think it was 17. So that whole year, I was working at this one company back when I was living in New Jersey, and my buddy that worked next to me, he would ask me for like 2 years in a row, "Hey man, you want to join us to fantasy football? Hey, you want to join us to fantasy football?" Dude, I don't watch football. Not really my thing. Like I'll watch like the big games or whatever, but I just don't pay attention to it that much. All right, cool, man. Another guy ended up joining our office, so three of us all kind of got along for the most part. But as one guy, he and I, we would take like those friendly coworker jabs at each other pretty much constantly. So finally we got to whatever year I'm trying to reference, and so like, hey man, you know what? Yeah, I'll get involved in fantasy football this year. That's fine. He's like, all right, well, just I mean, you don't have to like a team, but you're gonna have to probably watch some football just to at least know what you're doing, and I'll help you out too. I was like, all right, well, you know what? If I'm gonna do fantasy football, if I'm gonna watch more football, I might as well pick a team. And so I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, and I'm like, I don't want to be a bandwagon fan. I don't want to just pick the best teams in the league, which at the time were Eagles and Kansas City, and Minnesota was still good at the time. Was still doing pretty good at the time before Justin Jefferson, and all that. But then the guy that I had like the friendly workplace rivalry with, I found out he was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And being that I'm a Philadelphia Flyers fan anyway, and I hate the Pittsburgh Penguins, immediately just the name of the city of Pittsburgh boils my blood.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, man, well, we gotta we know what division we're aiming for now at the very least. And so I was like, Cincinnati, no, they're in Ohio. I don't really want to go out there if I ever want to see a game. Baltimore, it's Baltimore. I don't want to have to go to Baltimore if I don't really need to. But it was like, oh well, but there's this other team and they're in Ohio too. I don't want to go to Ohio. But then I was like, it was the year that they had finished going 0-16. I was like, you know what? I already like losers as my hockey team. Everybody loves an underdog story. And I really, really don't like this guy on a work level. So screw it. Cleveland Browns. Let's go. And then what they do, they end up taking Baker Mayfield #1 overall.
I still don't understand why we draft small quarterbacks. Like Doug Flutie happened. We got it. That's it. There's no other quarterbacks that can hang.
Oh, are you telling me you're a Browns fan too?
No, I am absolutely.
Oh,
But I'm a
cheers,
legitimate
brother.
Browns fan. I'm not doing it out of spite. It happened in the 80s. My dad. Okay, so my family by and large is from West Virginia and Nebraska, but like my dad's side is from West Virginia. So you either a Steelers fan or a Browns fan. Well,
Fair enough.
Jim Brown was the running back for the Browns when my dad was growing up, so you're going to be a Browns fan.
Oh, for sure.
Because he loved him.
Just because I wasn't a fan, like I know of Jim Brown, I know of his career being a fan now, and yeah, it makes sense. You have to be.
Yeah, no, and he wore the number 44 through like everything.
Risk
he loved
it. Stop giving it away.
So he took me to go see a game in the 80s when Bernie Kosar was quarterback. And it went to Municipal Stadium back in the 80s, and it was like, okay, I'm hooked. Little did I know how much crap I'd have to deal with for the rest of my life, but I am an avid. I will never be anything but a Cleveland Browns fan. I love them. I hate the Ravens.
Amen.
The Steelers fans are gay. They really are.
and not GHEY, not the fun kind.
No, like literally, like you can get 4 times as many fans in a stadium as you can Browns fans. If you turn the chairs over. Yeah.
This is what Steelers fans do.
Look, this is all doesn't matter. Let's get gay already.
That's what Steelers fans say on a daily basis. So,
yeah.
Anyway, I completely threw everything off the rails.
No, Browns fans are Browns fans. Once you find another one, you're like, yay!
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm sure you and I will be talking a lot come September. So,
yeah, we'll be talking about how much our team sucks, and then we're out of the playoffs by October. But anyways.
But yeah, man. So GCA goes on and gets formed, and you guys pretty much capture magic in a bottle. When did you decide to kind of strike or not strike out, but like go out and try to strike the iron while it was hot and do your own channel too? Like, what kind of was the mindset of, hey, you know what? Let me do this other thing. And where did you start with that? And kind of where do you see it going?
Well, right now, I'm just trying to find like something that it's not that I'm passionate about per se. Like I can really do a lot of stuff with like computers and things like that. But I'm trying to find the vibe and stuff like that. I'm still trying to find it. Now, as far as like video games and stuff, I have a ton of retro consoles, like a ton. Like, look, I got a freaking Mattel football right here.
I've caught that a couple of times out of the corner of my eye watching you.
And I got a DS, 3DS. I got a PS Vita over here. I have a Mac from 1988 with the carrying case in the closet behind me.
Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. I have a PowerBook like Jeff Goldblum used in Independence Day. I have that. I have a ton. I have a laptop from 2003. I collect a lot of computers and stuff like that. But I know how to fix them and stuff. I know how to fix consoles too. So I'm trying to figure that out, but by and large, the one thing I've been really enjoyed doing lately is playing games that I didn't play when I was growing up, when I was broke, when I was in my 20s, which I was very broke because it was during the Obama years. So no offense to anybody that voted that way, but he sucked. I didn't know.
I can wax poetic for a while, but more or less we're at least
put it this way.
In the situation we're in now is because of him.
The gas was $4.19 a gallon, and my commute was 40 miles each. So it was an 80-mile commute each day. So
holy crap!
But it was my foot in the door to be a graphic designer in my 20s. I didn't have a choice.
No, for sure, man. You got to take that and run with it. But.
So I couldn't play many games. So I was like, I'm going to play Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Great choice. And the original Assassin's Creed on the 360. Also,
yes,
absolutely. Whatever. I don't know if I 100%ed it. I feel like I did. I loved it, but I never played Mass Effect. It just never was like, okay, fine. Or, I play like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5.
Okay.
So I never played Mass Effect. So I've been playing Mass Effect on my channel. So that's been fun streaming. But as far as doing my own thing and what I'm going to do on my own channel, I haven't really figured it out yet. I did enjoy reviewing the streaming platforms because as I do video production and graphic design, I feel like I can look at the technical aspect of it, but I can also explain it in a way that's not like like overly technical, like, hey, this is what I feel like it would work, because I have to work with with people that in any, whether it's my real world job or streaming, you don't know if it's going to be, you like what how acclimated they are to using and how technical they are. So I feel like I can bridge that gap. I worked in Geek Squad. My parents were essentially Amish growing up. They didn't know how to use anything outside of an abacus, so I had to explain to them how to use technology. So it was really fun doing those streams because I could kind of kick the tires, see how things work. That was fun, but still trying to find my voice as far as like what I want to do on YouTube. I overthink it a bit. It's easy to look at other people's channels and say, okay, let's do these visual aspects. Let's, like, what do you want to name this? What do you want to do with this? That's easy when you're looking at other people. When you're looking inward, it's a lot harder. So
Yeah.
trying to
No, I
find
get
that.
that.
That's
Yeah, I see a couple of these. I'm gonna get to them in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
starring them as they come in.
So yeah, just trying to figure it out. And it's just like, we're in this transitory period where it's like, okay, I feel like I want to do YouTubing and stuff like that and streaming as a career, but it's just like, what do we do? So it's all very confusing. That's why I'm looking forward to this vacation, because I can kind of like let it all soak in. I haven't had a chance to. I've been going balls to the wall since we started like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're,
I don't think I've
you just
taken a
had
break.
66 or 67.
66 episodes. I haven't missed one. I've actually been on ABF off the hip more than he's been on. But one episode, by the way, maybe less, where he has special editions that I don't make to sometimes because they're during the day, but we're like about neck and neck. But I've been doing it, and it's really fun, but it's just like sometimes you gotta recharge. So anyways, yeah, no, so it's been super fun. Like, streaming is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, man, I've been having fun with it at first, because I don't know how much you know about the channel here, but at first I wasn't doing streaming. At first I was just going to be like, I'm just going to make content. I'm just going to put videos up, and that'll be it. And that's what I was doing for probably, well, it only lasted a week, but like in terms of doing structured stuff like this, like Talking Shop, like my Monday show that I do, the other show I do every other Thursday with my wife, like that stuff didn't come about until after a couple of months. At first, I was just literally doing a video series called Comics Read Along, where I put comic books up on the screen. I find digital copies of them, and I just read through the comic book. And I try to do voices as best I can for people. Some people like them, some people don't. It is what it is. Because what I say to them is, "Screw you guys, I'm good help." But besides that, though, like I was doing like one a month of just highlighting an indie comic book that I liked. But other than that, I had on a whim at the end of like that first week or two after uploading some videos. I was like, you know what? I mean, it's a comic book related channel, and I haven't played, because I play 2018 Spider-Man at least twice a year. So I was like, I haven't played it yet this year, so why don't I just do it on stream? Why not? And I did it, and people liked it. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm doing gaming streaming on top of uploading videos. But yeah, I was feeling my way out, man, and honestly, I still am a little bit, because I don't really know, because it's the whole, especially when you start thinking about the algorithm stuff and whatnot, like it makes my head spin, brother. I don't know how Jay and all of them like deal with it and work around it and keep up to date on how the algorithm changes and whatnot. I have no freaking clue.
Yeah, I mean, I get some insight into that, but yeah, it's insane. It's they couldn't tell you any more than anybody else could tell you. But yeah, it's that I think that was the craziest thing since you brought up Jay. That was the craziest thing that's happened in the past year, because I just wanted to do it to have fun, which I'm having lots of fun. It is fun to do this kind of stuff, to stream and things like that. But so we were doing the GCA. We started in late March of 2024, if you can believe it. That's how long we've been doing it.
That tracks. Makes sense.
Yeah,
about 18 months or so. Or a little less.
So trying to think. So I had been doing it all for about 6 months, and then Jay reaches out to me. He's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Okay," and I'm like, "What?" And I'm like on the phone. And I'm like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, anyways, I don't want to go too far into it, because it's But
Yeah, you
lo and
got your conversations and whatnot.
yeah, essentially in January, I'm on the Monday Hangover, and it's just like, and now we've been doing it for 6 months, and it's just like it's insane. And I'm doing video editing for him and stuff like that. I do them
Oh, okay.
on two of his channels. I do it for Welcome to the Rebellion shorts. So if you see any shorts, those are mine.
Gotcha.
I cut those up for him and edited those. And I do all of the Monday Hangover. I do all of the assets like editing. I do the logo, the intro you see on the Monday Hangover. I did that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So like all that kind of stuff. But it's all really fun. I enjoyed the graphic design aspect as much as the streaming aspect. I love talking, hosting. Like it's been really fun, man. And like I said, this all stemmed from a midlife crisis. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just in the same career. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of like, oh, I'll stream with these guys. And if you would have told me 2 years ago this is what I would be doing, I'd be like, you're on crack. You need to stop. But it's been awesome, and it's just been super awesome. And I think the most awesome part is the Discord, the GCA Discord. The amount of
Oh yeah, for sure.
wonderful, wholesome people or horrendous people that just at least own it, like risk it. It's been really awesome, and the amount of people we got to talk to, and the amount of ideas and the amount of creativity that's flowed through there is just amazing. Yeah.
Speaking of Risket, dropping links for you.
He better. He's been talking shit about me enough. He better drop a damn link.
Yeah, I unfortunately, I just now see that's my thing with Discords. I eventually would love to, because I have like a tiny server that I set up for the channel here, but it's nothing. It's nothing crazy like the GCA Discord or the Geeks and Gamers Discord or anything like that. Like maybe eventually I'd like to do that, but like for right now, it's really just if I mention the Discord or if somebody in the chat that's in the Discord mentions it and somebody else is like, oh, you have a Discord? Then I'm like, oh yeah, here's a link for it. Like that's kind of because it's really just a place for people to chill. And then I have a channel for dropping links in the Discord, and then there's a second one for just other people to drop their links. That's more or less all it is. So maybe eventually one day I'd like to grow that out, but I'm perfectly fine with my tiny little corner and slice of the Rumble and YouTube community here. The Comics Crew is the best community out there. Sorry, GCA people. If you're not part of the Comics Crew, though, you can easily do so by hitting the follow and by hitting the subscribe button on YouTube and Rumble. Wink.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not mutually exclusive.
So. No, for sure. But no, I see a lot of the stuff going on in the GCA Discord. Yeah, GCA Discord is it's another animal in and of its own. I'm not actively talking in there, but I'm actively reading it.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, no. So ABF's the one that hashed out. I technically, that's what I tell people. I own the land. ABF built on the land. So what did I do? I'm the one that got the Discord up, but he's the one that hashed it out. And Nagranol is the one that sands the edges and kind of keeps things clean and interesting and stuff like that. So, and there's other people that are involved, but those are the main three. The main, Nagranol is definitely the lifeblood of it. He kind of like knows what's going on. He's in there a lot. Talks a lot,
the homie.
Yeah, and I try to when I can. Sometimes it's just like I'm beat at the end of the night, just whether it's my real job or I'm streaming. And I hate to say real job, but there's a lot of people that that you think like, oh no, they still have real jobs. Like you think about people that are in G&G that not all of them are Jeremy or Ryan. A lot of them still are holding a 9-to-5 of some sort.
Oh yeah,
which is fine. But it's just like at the end of the night sometimes. But sometimes it's like they're a godsend. I was moving last year and I was going nuts, but I would drop in the Discord to be like 20 people and we were having a laugh and just like take all the stress away. So the Discord is goated and the people in there are amazing. They're really cool. So
and there's the link for it too.
Yep.
And then while we're at it, let me just grab the other one. And then
So, but anyways, I know but that's how much has happened over the last year and a half. We've hashed all this stuff out, but it's the Discord, the YouTube channel. They're both equally important to us. And a lot of, I'm on the Monday Hangover. I'm also part of Midnight's Edge After Dark. I'm part of.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. So I do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Because
I know I've seen you on there. I didn't realize that you were like a mainstay on there.
I wouldn't say mainstay. I would be if I didn't have a real world job.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I
Hey,
gotta
you
I gotta have some
consistently
some. I do enjoy being married quite a bit, so I would love to like not be unavailable most of the day. So
for sure, man.
um,
Well, I guess in my mind, mainstays, you're on there consistently. It doesn't have to be every day, but
yeah.
you're on there
But
consistently. In my mind, you're a mainstay.
1.5 times a week out of 3. So yeah, but it's really fun. Nick Weiser's amazing. Tom's awesome.
Yeah,
The really
I actually reached out to Tom. Tom and I got to talk. Probably next month or so. He definitely. I was talking to him for a little bit. I shot him a couple DM months ago because
Mhm.
to just to let you know, when did I reach out to you back in like April, I think. So like I have through the middle of next month booked for this show still.
Nice.
So that was back in March that I started booking people. So now that
No,
we're
that's
in
awesome.
July, I got to start booking out the next like several months. But Tom is on my list of people that'll in this next like 4-month block of bookings that I'm going to be doing. Tom was like, "Yeah, just whenever you're ready to actually start booking, reach out to me and we'll work something out." I was like, "Oh, awesome!" Because like my exposure to Tom is I have caught a couple of the like afternoon midnight's edges, but mostly my exposure to Tom is when he's on like WDW Pro and that Park Place and stuff like that. But Tom's good people though. I love watching Tom. He's really insightful, really fun. But it's between you and Nagernal and I got to reach out to ABF. So my goal is to have all the GCA on the channel at some point,
That'd be fun.
one way or another. Maybe not all at once, but because that would at that point it would just be GCA takeover ComixDad, which you know what, probably get more eyes on the screen if that were to happen. So go ahead, do that. But no, it's I'm just trying to I'm just doing what I can, man. It's this all kind of came together out of nowhere in terms of doing this show. Because I was just making that one video and I was enjoying doing it, but I was like, I wanna start talking to people about it too. Because like I'm sure you can agree, 2020 like destroyed my social life. And then after that, during 2020, we took an opportunity. We were living in New Jersey and we left. We moved over here to Pennsylvania. But I mean, we've been in Pennsylvania for almost 5 years now.
Mhm.
We don't really have any friends out here. Like we did it more because it was just we hated being in New Jersey that badly that we're like, we'll just go literally anywhere and we'll just make the most of it. And we are more or less we're doing well. We bought our first house out here and the kids are thriving and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
but like in terms of a social life, our social life is ourselves and each other and the kids. So that's why I was like, oh, you know what?
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We try to, but it's just like it's kind of hard. It is hard at this stage in your life if you have like I have an almost teenager at this point. So
Okay.
it's just like yeah, so it's like it works. He has friends and we do talk to people and I have like literally everybody in the GCA, we're all friends. We've hung out multiple times in person.
Nice.
And we actually enjoy each other's company quite a bit. So, it's really it's nice to have that kind of relationship because you can have a professional relationship where you're like, hey, we do a good job. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
bye. And you might not like to hang out with them beyond that, and that's just kind of that's life.
Yeah.
There's people that I work really well with that I would never want to be friends with, but we can get a lot of amazing stuff done. That's not the case with the GCA. We all get along greatly. Like we're all for whatever reason we just kind of are like okay yeah sure like we're willing to take criticism and we're willing to try to get better and yes yeah I've hung out with Risket a few times so
A lot of people have been hanging out with Risket lately at the last couple of conventions. I've been hearing stories. But yeah, man, it kind of ties back in yeah, like great working relationships and everything. And
Mhm.
but for me, it kind of ties back to what you were saying about like this is supposed to be fun. This is not your full time job. This clearly isn't my full time job. I'm just doing it for just kind of just put some energy into something
yeah
and just kind of do something with a little bit of that extra free time I have on my hands, especially now that my younger one's going to be starting school next year too. So she'll be making friends and go to friends' houses and stuff and whatnot. And then I'm gonna be sitting here. It's gonna be me and the wife, and we're gonna enjoy that alone time together. But then we also have times that we want to be alone separately.
yes
And
yeah.
I don't know. I guess maybe it's a cry for help. I'm just looking for a friend. I need a friend. That's all I need. But part of the reason why I haven't tried to do like a panel show or anything. Like we did that one on Rumble like last month, and that was fun. And everybody that was on there is awesome. I think part of it is just part of me is kind of there's so many panel shows out there, and the
Mhm.
model is and like the GCA, you guys do an awesome job, and love what you guys do. I love your guys' show. Like there's you guys, there's Friday Night Tights, there's Tuesday Nights Main Event, and like you guys kind of have that down on lock. That like if I were to do a panel show, I'm like, oh man, the pressure's on. That, and also I would want to make sure that I'm doing it with people that I actually enjoy, not just like, oh hey, we should all do this together.
Oh,
So we can
dude,
grift
we'll
and
hang
whatnot.
out. So here's a little insight of what's going on. I gotta say, my least favorite person to work with is Jonas on the Monday. Oh, hi.
Oh
Oh.
my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Well, I did
Jonas,
acknowledge
what's
you,
going
so
on,
you
sir?
can't get on mad at me about that, Jonas. No, just
Yeah,
kidding.
sometimes you have to track
No,
Mo down.
Jonas
to
is
acknowledge his coworkers.
Jonas is one of the people that I listen to, and he knows this. He'll probably be like, "Oh, whatever." But I used to love listening to him on WDW Pro and on other channels and stuff like that, because everybody would be like getting like rambunctious and yelling over you, and Jonas would be like, "Here's what's happening," and he would just kind of have a good voice, and he would kind of steer the conversation, and I always enjoyed listening to him. You
Oh,
know,
for sure.
because
And also, he's
there's
kind of
a
like that
time and a
dad.
place. There's a time and a place for Mexican Iron Man to lose his shit. There's a time and a place for for somebody else to just spurg out, but he's always used to.
well,
Yeah,
well,
then I started streaming with you. All right, never meet your heroes, people. No,
well,
I'm just
Jonas
kidding.
is like the dad in the room, it seems, and I love that. That's kind of
Oh
Jonas.
no, Jonas and I hit it off immediately. I unironically love Jonas. He's cool. He's an awesome guy. More than willing to be helpful. He's like Tomby. He's just a wellspring of knowledge, and he doesn't. He's a good guy. I don't want to oversell him because he'll get annoyed by that. But I think he's just I think he's just awesome.
Oh, it's
He's
okay.
a
We
great dude.
know you love Jonas. We know you love Jonas a lot.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
It's okay. It's okay. We know how much you love Jonas, and I'm sure Jonas appreciates it from a very far distance.
This is the last time I compliment somebody. Anyways,
But Jonas, thank you so much for being here, sir. I appreciate you. Yeah, I cannot get away from that clip. The funny thing, Jonas, is about that clip. I'm going to talk to Jonas directly for a second. Part of the reason why I have that clip is because of how much you guys were playing it on Pro Show. But then also when I had Kevin, once I realized how much it impacted Kevin Apollo with him having the name of Peepaw. I was like, okay, just to have a little fun with Kevin, because Kevin was on the show about a month ago. I was like, let me rotate this into my clips. It was kind of the perfect timing, and so I played that, and Kevin was like, you're killing me with this, but he took it like a good sport. So Jonas, the cat's out of the bag. Whatever you do, whenever you're able to come on the channel. Unfortunately, I don't have any kind of secret weapon to hold and use against you. But so be prepared. But yeah, man. So let's. I really appreciate you just going through all that, and I've enjoyed this last bit here, getting to really know you, man, and knowing kind of more backstory about the GCA and kind of what drives you and fuels you as a creator, as an editor, as a producer for the streaming stuff, and it's all the one thing that you keep saying that I keep telling people as well, and the one theme that it keeps coming back to is fun. If you're not having fun, you shouldn't be doing this. Like. And everybody like Jeremy, Jay, the Gary, like they all started it. I don't know if this is fact, but I would like to assume they all started it because they just wanted to do it for fun. They were passionate about something. They wanted to talk about stuff they were passionate about, and they wanted to have fun doing it. And so, no matter whether you're a channel with 2 subscribers or a channel with 2 million subscribers, like don't be doing this if you're not going to have fun doing it. And I think that's kind of the big takeaway that everybody can agree on.
Right. And there also is, I'll put this out here real quick. If you really want to, if the opening arises and you want to succeed in anything that you do, put your nose to the grindstone and work your ass off. I've been blessed with opportunities that I never even thought would even come my way. I didn't think I'd be streaming 2 years ago, let alone have the opportunities that I do. But there's also understand that if you want to be good at it, you got to work hard. You got to work hard, but don't do it so voraciously that you get tired of it. Don't burn out. Do not burn out. Like you need to ride that razor's edge and do the best job you can, and then that's where the best stuff is made. But don't overdo it. If it's becoming not fun, just take a break.
Oh, for sure.
Because people can tell that the currency, as they say, is authenticity. And if you're just pushing through and you don't care, people can feel that. And that's not fun for you, and it's not fun for the audience. So,
I mean, to give a little ComixDad not so secret away, I haven't been doing any long form videos for the last like 2.5, probably close to 3 months at this point. And part of that is why, because the comics read alongs, I don't get me wrong, I still love doing them. I want to start doing them again, but like it was finding the time to record them, because I was trying to bang out 2 videos in a weekend every single week for a while, and it was just burning me out. And I was like, let me just go into my streams and just chill and decompress that way. So videos are coming again later this month. I also I'm going to be getting some coaching on doing some better editing as well. But yeah, if you're starting to feel burnt out, you definitely need to take that break. And then I know there's a chat down here that I want to get to, but yeah, Jonas says, clarification, I have never played that clip. I've been on streams where that clip has been played. Fair enough. That was very gay clip. I have some more if you need that may or may not involve the guest. I have been given that offer by not just you, Risk It, but by a couple of people.
Yeah. The thing is, don't take things personally. I think it's all funny. I might look annoyed, but I'll laugh. As a matter of fact, if you join the GCA Discord, I'll be sharing a little trinket of how little things bother me. So, but anyways. A little incentive there, but yeah, no, it's all very fun, and and you never know when you're going to get a chance to kind of ride this tidal wave that is streaming, because you never know. Look at Yo Pops.
For sure.
And I'm good. I consider myself a good friend of his. I would love to hang out with him more. We're on opposite sides of the country, so it makes it hard.
Yeah, definitely.
We, of all the people, we're the ones that usually hang out and talk all the time. I don't know why. I think it's just we must have similar viewpoints on life. But I ended up laughing my asses off with him when in Vegas and in Orlando this past year. So when he did his riot documentaries, and he went to 3,000 subscribers literally overnight.
Yeah, that was wild.
Because because I knew when he did he was surveying the fires from earlier that year.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I remember seeing about that.
People would watch, but they never took off. And I'm like, why? It was really fun to watch him. And he just hit it, and he took off, and he's monetized in like 2 days. Because why? Because he's authentic.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the most authentic person I've ever met. All you're ever going to get is Yo Pops, and nothing lesser. And there's nothing more, because he goes 110%. He doesn't bullshit. So he's awesome. But yeah, it's just like, and that's the thing. That's the other thing. I know I'm talking about a lot of stuff here, but
no, you're good. Hey, that's pretty much the reason for the show, dude. You're good.
Never be jealous of other people's success. If you want to know how they did it, kind of learn about it, but you should always celebrate, especially friends in the fellowship or people that you see online. You should celebrate their success and be like, what can I do to get to that point? Or what am I doing? Always look inward for change. Don't look at other people and get jealous, because I've never been jealous of other people. I've always been happy when like ABF gets a ton of subscribers, or Yo Pops gets 3,000 overnight, because they've put in the work.
Oh, for sure.
Put in the work, and if you get a instance where you can take advantage of something, take advantage of it. So, and I'm so glad that a lot of people that I know out here have been successful.
Yeah, well, clearly I'm not taking advantage right now with this stuff, but no, I'm kidding.
You will.
I'm kidding.
You will.
But no, and it's and that's because I do have a struggle with that a little bit, because like I love seeing people succeed, especially because this is supposed to be fun. But then I sometimes I won't get jealous, but I'll get in my own head, and I'll kind of get down on myself and be like, oh man, what am I not doing? But then it takes me a couple of days, and I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter what I'm doing. I need to make sure that I'm still having fun. Because why am I asking these questions if I'm not having fun?
Yeah,
So
but there's also, we're adults. We know what it takes to win.
Yeah.
And to do stuff and to be successful. It's the balance of those two things. That's what matters.
yeah, well, and even then, I keep telling my wife, like, or she keeps telling me, she's like, "You gotta not worry about it so much, not worry about it so much." No, I know, and especially because I'm not looking to make it big, and even then, monetization isn't even a goal for me. I've been saying that
Mhm.
since day one. Although I will push a little grift here and there. But I mean, if it happens, it's awesome. And the way I look at it is, if it happens, okay, maybe it'll be a little
Mhm.
bit of a side hustle. But even if you do a side hustle, you got to make sure you're having fun doing it. Unless you're in a point where like you drastically need to pay bills, that's like the extreme. But outside of that,
You're gonna come off as inauthentic, and people aren't gonna like you. You're just gonna
oh,
be
I just
dark.
meant any
You're,
side hustle. I didn't
yeah,
mean this.
you're gonna be dark side Phil in any career.
Yeah, yeah,
If you're just doing it to do it. If you're like, if you're on the cleaning up the sides of the road, God bless you. There's nothing wrong with that job. That's an honest work.
yeah.
But
Definitely.
but I'm saying, like, if you're just doing it because I need to make my bills, well, you shouldn't be on YouTube.
No, absolutely not.
It needs to be, your authenticity and your creativity is a wellspring, and as long as that stays true and you're not artificially pumping it out, then you will be successful.
Yeah.
If you're just doing it to make a buck, then I don't know what to tell you guys. It's just like the money the income will come if people think you're authentic. That's why Gary from Neurotic does so well, because he is authentic.
Oh
The
yeah,
man,
Gary's great.
his FJ Cruiser is going to outlive him. I'm pretty sure. He's got a car that he's owned for like 15 years. Yeah. Yeah. Keep the camera
Yeah.
cover one up.
Yeah, that's when I do my I when I was doing the long forms, and even when I go back to doing them, yeah, I don't get on camera for those. So yeah, pro tip right there.
Yeah. So,
but
but there's a lot of stuff, but I've been blessed enough about to have a lot of these larger YouTubers kind of give me this advice, and just having friends on the GCA that are like willing to critique me.
Yeah.
We're willing to critique each other and get better. That's the whole thing. A lot of people take critiques as personal. You should never take it as personal. Just take there's always something actionable from what somebody tells you. If the chat isn't digging what you're doing, you know what? Take it to heart. Don't take it personally. Just say, okay, what have I? And if you think you're doing something wrong, fine, change it. If not, then be true to yourself. But it's just don't don't be a cog in the machine. That's the whole point of YouTube, is to have fun
Yeah.
and to exit the machine, not be part of it. So
And chat, I encourage you guys pretty often, even in the videos when I do them too, is like, if you have any suggestions, or if there's something you want to see, guys, like, or even if there's something that you're not liking, like, my DMs on X are always open.
Mhm.
And for those of you that are in the Discord, you know how to reach out to me there. But I even set up an email address specifically for the channel, just so this way people could reach out to me if they want. I mean, so far I've been lucky enough; everybody seems to be liking it. I haven't gotten any emails saying, "Hey, I'd like to see this," or "Hey, maybe you can do that better," or "Hey, you suck."
all are valid valid complaints
For sure.
and compliments. Yes.
But yeah, it's just,
So,
it's first and foremost, it's fun, and then everything else will follow. And I think that's kind of a good way to leave that there. Now, I know, Mo, you were saying probably around the 9 o'clock ish point, you'd be able to
mhm.
hang out for. I do just have one or two just quick topics I'd like to just
Sure.
touch on, especially because it's something that we talked about, discussed in a sense earlier when we were talking about comics. Uh, let's get on over here. Let me get my where is it? Let me get this up. Let me get you on here. Yeah. Replace guest. We're gonna replace the guest with somebody else. So now,
Hey.
but yeah. So Keith David is set to receive a star of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and the reason why I say this is somewhat related, because you had mentioned Spawn, reading Spawn and watching Spawn back in the '90s. Keith David was the voice of Spawn. Also, I had shown the facsimile edition of, if you guys can see it with the virtual background. No, you can't. But the facsimile edition of Gargoyles #1 by Marvel Comics from back in '95. Keith David was the voice of Goliath in Gargoyles. So like, it all kind of tied in perfectly. And he is finally getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. somebody did make a point though earlier, a valid point. I can't find the comment now. I forgot to bookmark it. But somebody was like, "It's about time for Keith David that he got his star, but why is he getting it at the same time as Timothy Chalamet?" Which is a very excellent point.
Timothy Chalamet is getting a star.
I supposedly, I didn't look too much further into it. Like, so I took the comment at face value. But even if there's any truth to that, especially, it's very upsetting. But but Keith David is a legend. Voice of Spawn, voice of Goliath. He was the voice of the Arbiter in the Halo franchise. Been in a whole bunch of movies that people love. Like he was in that movie in '88 with Roddy Piper. What was that movie?
They Live.
They
Really?
Live.
That
Yes,
movie.
thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, he was in that. He was in Pitch Black and The Chronicles of Riddick. Keith David is one of those iconic actors that never gets enough credit, like ever.
No.
And it's upsetting. And I'm so glad that he's finally getting the recognition and credit he deserves. And then also he was Captain Anderson in Mass Effect.
Yes, and I love his voice. His character model is a bit dated and looks weird, but listening to him talk, I'm just like, yeah, sure, investigate. I don't care, just everything. Like,
I want to know everything you have to say, and I'll even listen to it twice if I need to.
Yes, and if you watch my stream, yeah, if I get a chance to meet this man, it'll be amazing. But yeah, no, congrats to him. It's well overdue. He should have got it about 20 years ago. So
for sure. And then I actually found it was this Daily Mail. They actually grabbed a video of him just finding out. Come on, play, darn you. There we go. Actor Keith David. And why'd you freeze? Yeah. And he's just having like, I love like he clearly never expected it, and I don't think it's anything he ever really thought about. But the fact that he's got it, like he was probably just watching it because his wife probably knew. So probably
his wife obviously knew. You would hope so.
Yeah. Well, hey, why don't we watch the nominations or who's being on the Walk of Fame? But like, this is just so heartwarming that in a day and age where entertainment is so crappy, and a lot of the celebrities out there are just so absolute ass in terms of being the quality of people that they are for the most part. You see the good people out there and the people who have, like we were talking about with the streaming, the people who have earned it, finally, like Keith David, finally getting the recognition that he deserves. And that's awesome for him. Oh crap, I just closed the tab I shouldn't have closed. But no, that was pretty much what I had though. I know we're running low on time here. But Mo, do you have anything before we do our goodbyes? Do you have anything you'd like to say to the chat? Or chat, do you have any questions for Mo before we get out of here? Because I do have a couple of comments started I do want to go over real quick as well. So sure. Chat, while I pull up the tab that I had closed by accident. Chat, go ahead and did I find it? I did find it. Okay, cool. And of course it's playing.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, there we go. Got that queued up. But yeah, chat. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. We got one. Riskit says, "Where's the reluctant rebel?"
So one of the first things I did on my own is I did a political channel where I really needed to get stuff off my chest because, like I said, I got canceled. Mm-hmm. I did exemplary work for a large corporation. I was a contractor, but there's a thing called inferred employment where you can't just contract somebody ad infinitum and be like, they're just a contract. No, you've employed them. So for almost a decade, I've had exemplary work, never had any real issues, like maybe one or two problems. It happens. You do over 3,000 projects. You're going to have a few that stink. Yeah. You know, you're going to have ones that don't quite come out right for whatever reason, but nothing that would have said that I had to lose my gig. Well, they're pushing DEI really hard, and I was just like, I don't want to work on these projects or work on anything else. That's fine. 3 weeks they didn't get back to me, so I told them to go screw themselves professionally. And for a year and a half, I was meandering trying to make my way back because I was always a freelancer and stuff like that. And yeah, so I had a lot built up, and I did Reluctant Rebel, and I did quite a few episodes, and I covered a lot of the parts going into the election. And at some point, it's just like, hey, it's there's so much bile and vitriol that you have stored up in your system. Well, I got it all out, and there's
There
not
you
much
go.
there's
Sometimes you
not much
gotta.
I could, because I've always been like, hey, I'm all for healthy debate. I don't think there was anything more I could say now. Going into the primaries where I live in South Carolina, there are going to be a lot I have to say, so I might do it again. But it's only a periodic thing. I don't want to stew on those things. I'm not somebody that focuses on negativity all the time. And I feel
Mhm.
like if you go down that road, it will start to, if you stare into the abyss too long, I felt it start staring back at me. And I was like, okay, I want to kind of focus on some more positive stuff. So,
Well, it's funny you say that because that's kind of how I ended up finding myself
mhm.
at the Geeks and Gamers channel, at Jay's channel, and then eventually to the GCA. Was that I was the job I was at? There was a guy that we were pretty similar views, me and him,
Mhm.
and you and I share like 99% of the same views. Nobody shares 100% the same views in
No,
my
that
mind.
would be very boring, by the way.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
But he got me onto, and I was watching political podcasts, a lot of stuff on Rumble, Crowder, and Tim Pool, and Benny Johnson, and all that stuff, and especially because it was coming up to be election time. But I got to a point where I was like, I am just so like, yes, these are things that I need to be informed on, but I'm getting so overloaded with it to the point where I feel like it is physically dragging me down. And then I
Mhm.
just happened to pop into, like I said, Geeks and Gamers stream, and then it just kind of took off from there. And I went down the rabbit hole of, well, instead of putting all my worry and energy into worrying about politics and what's going to be coming up with the election and all that stuff,
Mhm.
let's talk trash about the Acolyte. Let's just sit and watch fun streams about other people talking trash about all the crap that Disney is doing, because these are all people that are talking about the things that matter to me. I mean, yes, the politics and policies and things going on with the country matter to me.
Mhm.
Entertainment matters to me too, though. And it was, but you guys and the other channels I mentioned all do it in a way where it's not just negativity. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
very lighthearted. A lot of it's very tongue in cheek while addressing the serious issues at the same time. And I love that. It definitely helped me get out of a funk I was in from being consumed in like political media 24/7. So thank you, man, and thank Geeks and Gamers and Nerdrotic, and thanks to GCA and all that, because like and really, like, and Jonas and WDW Pro, their channels, and like kind of a mix of all you guys' channels together kind of also inspired me to, like, hey, you know what, I might just start my own channel and talk like comics and stuff, because like I loved what you guys were doing and calling out all the nonsense, and I'm like, let's just talk comics. People aren't necessarily calling out the stuff in comics, at least not what I was seeing. I know there's channels out
Yeah.
there that do.
No, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's
Yeah.
why I enjoy doing the Monday Hangover. It's positive. We're talking about
Yep.
classic movies. Now
And
we're
that's
probably going to start doing other stuff, but it's just having that positivity. That's the whole thing. We've hit the downswing. Now we're in the upswing. You don't want to stay negative, because it's just life is too short, man. I
sure,
went
man.
through, like most people, you've had a lot of stuff happen in your life. If you focus on negative too long, it can be very detrimental, but you still need to take care of business. And I feel like I did that, but
Good for
anywho,
you, dude. But yeah, our other question is, who is your favorite Transformer?
Optimus Prime, not even close. Peter Cullen.
My wife actually, she went to we went to GalaxyCon in Richmond last year, and my wife, she actually stood online and got Peter Cullen's autograph and met him, but she didn't get anything signed with Optimus. She took, because we used to play TCGs and we played Lorcana, the Disney TCG that came out a couple of years back, and so she took an Eeyore card with her and took it down to Richmond, Virginia, and he had Peter Cullen signed an Eeyore Disney or Lorcana trading card game card. And he was so shocked and surprised by that, because everybody else in line was. And so that was a really neat moment that she had, and probably a really neat moment that he had, because and my little one was in line with her too, because she's watching Winnie the Pooh with her, and my little one got a little excited when he spoke his Eeyore. According to my wife, I wasn't in line. I was in line with my older one for Christopher Sabat for Vegeta and Zoro. So,
Yeah,
but,
but no, Peter Cullen is, he's amazing.
oh yeah,
I've tried to do his voice for my entire life. I don't think I'll get there.
don't worry, Mo. You'll get there eventually.
I am Optimus Prime.
I am Optimus Prime. Nah,
thought you were,
that's my Optimus.
I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You know, it's just like he does benefit from smoking part of his life. I think he has. That does help.
For sure.
Yeah. Because he was 40. He was about my age when he started as Optimus Prime. Dude's old as dirt now.
Yeah.
He's like 82, I think, or something like that. 83.
You know what? And he's still going to cons, and God bless him.
Oh yeah, no, you have to, because if you stop working, you die. That's
yeah.
I think a lot of people have had people in their life like, and I'll be that person. I'll be 90, and I'll hopefully, God willing, I'll still be doing something. But Optimus Prime is always my favorite. I love the color scheme. I come from gigantic people, and he just was like a overwhelming presence. And
Oh yeah, a giant amongst giant robots.
yes, and I loved John Wayne season 1 Optimus Prime. Megatron, what are you doing over there? You know, like where he's like talking like John Wayne.
It's
You know,
great.
I love all but I do like old wise Optimus Prime. I thought he was awesome. So Optimus Prime, I love Optimus Prime so much that when I was going to run away from home when I was 7 because I was being overly dramatic, I made sure that my Optimus Prime was in my runaway bag that I tied around my stick, like. And yes, I tied a bag around a stick like a douchebag because I watched too many Looney Tunes cartoons. But yeah,
that's
no,
how
Optimus
you're supposed
Prime
to be a
forever.
hobo and run away from home. But yeah, for me, it's got to be if for anybody that hangs out in the Welcome to the Rebellion chats, you know, it's Soundwave, especially in the Welcome to Rebellion chats. Soundwave superior, all day, every day, or over Starscream at least.
I'm growing on Starscream quite a bit, and I have a feeling if when I read these comics, these Energon universe ones, I've heard that he's pretty wonderfully awful in it.
Oh, he is. It's no, Daniel Warren Johnson did a great job. He's still got, we just had issue 21 this month. We still have 3 more issues of Daniel Warren Johnson writing it. But then in October for issue 25, it is Robert Kirkman, writer and creator of Invincible and The Walking Dead and a bunch of other things, is taking over, which makes sense. I mean, Daniel Warren Johnson's doing a phenomenal job. I'm hesitant, but Robert Kirkman also has a career of legendary and great work. But it also makes sense because he's actually writing for the GI Joe, for that whole Energon universe. So he's writing that series Void Rivals that takes place in the same universe, and he's also writing that GI Joe series that's taking place in the same universe as well. So it just kind of makes sense for him to write for that third title in that shared universe. So. But it's going to be a fun time. But yeah, last few things in the chat. Riskit says, "Go Bengals." Basket City said, "Hey Mo, go Bengals." JK. And then Riskit said, "Mo wore diapers into his teens. That's why he picked the Browns." And then more avocados.
Yep.
But Mo, brother, I appreciate you being on, man. I appreciate you not giving me a hard time for keeping you a little few minutes past
it's been fun, man.
About. Yeah, dude. And hopefully you enjoyed yourself enough to if not come back, at least maybe send some other people this way if you want to torture them.
No, absolutely. No, it's been a pleasure. It's been fun talking with you.
I appreciate it, man. And everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here. The lurkers and the active chatters. Everybody, again, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Rumble, hit the repost, hit the share, turn on the notifications. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, people you love, the people you hate. Tell everybody about the channel. We're looking to do a bunch of fun stuff here, but the channel does not exist without you guys. And also, happy 4th of July, everybody. Mo, you enjoy your 4th of July weekend, sir.
Happy Independence Day.
Yes.
Remember all that we lost and celebrate all that are still here. So
absolutely. And also, never forget Russell K, sir. Hello, boys. I'm back. But to play everybody out, I got a little thing set up, a little fun thing set up. So there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you have yourselves a wonderful 4th of July weekend. You stay safe out there. Enjoy yourselves, but not too much. And as always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Support your local comic shops, support independent comic creators, and support small content creators like myself, like my guest, the excellent, wonderful Mo Zamboni, Queen Comics wife, trying to think of other people that popped into the chat. Brimstone, our buddy Tomby, even the GCA, 1,000+ subs. They're still surprisingly considered small for the content creation space. So go support the GCA as well. But thank you so much, everybody. We may see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be somewhere in Pennsylvania for a battlefield reenactment and some fireworks and 4th of July stuff. So we might try to do a live stream from one of our phones. But if not, we will see you guys at some point this weekend, next time here on the ComixDad channel and on the Queen Comics Wife
Okay,
channel.
I have to interrupt.
Yes.
You have a meme coming in from Risk It. I would not have stopped you, but I'm going to risk it.
You're good.
You owe me one. I know this is going to be awful, but I
Okay.
caught it this time.
So let's remove that. Let's see what this is. Let me read this first. Hold on. Okay, all right, this is a pretty good one. Here we go. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same.
Wow. That's a good one.
All right, that is a good one.
That's a good one. All
right.
right.
We'll pretend that you didn't show it. Risk it. You could use it for secret memer on the GCA next week. All right, so let me pull up what I was gonna pull up here, because it's just gonna be a nice little send out for 4th of July weekend. Again, everybody, thank you so much. I hope you all be safe and you be good. And until next time, I'm ComixDad. This is Mo Zamboni, and we'll see you later. Thank you so much, everybody.
When your kid is hurting.
So tune in, geek out, it's all in good fun. Talking shop with ComixDad, everyone. Let's keep the conversation lively and bright. See you next time for more insight. Welcome to Talkin' Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got, from ink to screen and all in between. With ComixDad and friends, it's the scene.